Good evening, folks. Jack 2506 Viner here. Youth season in East Arkansas is right around the corner, a couple weeks away. And I wanted to do a little product showcase on Aiden's rifle. I think it's, for the money, probably one of the best investments you can get for a young hunter. And I actually shot a video earlier this evening. We were down on the range, and I'm gonna post some of the shooting on a different thing. I'm still not good at this editing part of it, so I have to do one video start to finish, and what it is what it is. I don't know how to do all that editing and cutting and clipping and all that kind of stuff. So we had his little buddy, 8-year-old little friend, kind of holding the camera, and bless his heart, he got like from here up and from here down. It was kind of a funny video. We laughed about it, but anyway, so I decided to come in the house and actually do it in here after we ate dinner. But the rifle that I chose for Aiden is a Savage Model 110 Lightweight Storm. Savage on paper says this gun weighs like 5 pounds. You put the scope and the sling on it, you're probably 7 pounds. Real lightweight, easy for them to tote, easy for them to shoulder. One of the things that I was looking for when I purchased this rifle was there was 3 criteria that I wanted. First off, I wanted an adjustable stock. Youth, they can't shoot long adult rifles. I wanted a 20-inch barrel, all-weather 20-inch barrel, and I wanted an Accu-Trigger, something that was adjustable. Brand-wise, I really wasn't too worried about the brand. I'm not a brand person. My personal opinion on firearms and rifles, I would put less than $500 in a rifle and put more money in your optics. I know people's going to say, well, that's a Nikon scope, that's a cheap scope. Well, I'm a working class man. This is a Nikon Pro Staff 3. I think they're about 299 bucks, somewhere around in there. That's a pretty expensive scope to me. Cheap scopes to me are Simmons scopes, $44 scopes, $50 scopes that you buy from Walmart. Those are cheap scopes to me. This is pretty expensive scope. I know there's more name brand stuff out there, but I'm not a name brand guy, and I don't eyes and me or my kids and stuff, we don't worry about how much something costs as much as how much it functions. So I've had good quality Nikon scopes. I've had some. Always had good luck with them, so that's what I purchased for it. Matter of fact, this is the most expensive scope I've ever purchased. The 3 criteria that I want to go over with you for a youth rifle that I think is very important. First off, the adjustable stock. To me, this is the most important part of this rifle. Now we don't have any of the spacer plates. The rifle comes with 5 of these plates, and they're different thicknesses. You can add them all, subtract them all, add 2, whatever. But anyway, you take these 2 screws out. This kick pad comes off. You insert whatever thickness you want, put it back together, and that'll extend your length of pull out. The main reason for that is for a youth is to be able to get his eye relief on the scope correctly. This Nikon Pro Staff 3, it does have an adjustable eye relief right there, which is a big help. So you can kind of take some up here and then kind of get the fine tuning out right there. Really like this side of this gun. This is the main reason I bought it. The other reason I chose this particular weapon, the adjustable trigger. Now I do have another Savage 110 with the AccuTrigger system on it. It's actually a 25-06, hence the name Jack 2506. If people don't understand that, that's my baby. My 25-06, that's my baby. So with the adjustable trigger, a lot of people will say or want to talk about, you know, a kid don't need a lighter trigger. I disagree. I think everybody should understand that when you shoot with the AccuTrigger system, it improves your accuracy tenfold. It improves mine, and I'm not a great shot, you know, but when I shoot with an adjustable trigger, and that's the trigger inside the trigger, if you can see, you have to do the trigger, you have to pull that in and then you pull the trigger. To me, it kind of gets them focusing on, you know, squeezing the trigger, because if you don't do that right, they say the gun won't fire. I guess I've always done it right because I've never had it not fire. But basically, by the time you get that pressure of that spring out, the gun's ready to fire. So it kind of makes them think about some of those things before they're actually taking the shot. So you got the adjustable stock, the adjustable trigger. This one I think's right around 2.5 pounds, maybe 2 3/4, something like that. I got it fairly light for him, but he seems to like it, and I really think that when he shoots, he don't jerk anymore. He used to do that with that 243. It had like a 6-pound trigger on it, and it was, you could tell he jerked. He shot a lot to the right. So if you got a kid that's shooting to the right, and you're kind of thinking about maybe getting them a new rifle or something, always try to get something with an adjustable trigger. A lot of brands, a lot of manufacturers out there now sell rifles that have adjustable triggers that you don't have to take to a gunsmith and have adjusted. Very, very big plus. The other thing that I wanted to go over with y'all about this particular rifle, when I was doing some research and I found this rifle online, there wasn't any videos out there about it. They had the 110s, the Axis, all those videos were out there, but nothing about the lightweight Storm Model 110. And for all intents purposes, I mean, this is a very, very good weapon. One thing that I will tell y'all is when you go to take the stock off of this weapon, it has a detachable clip. Pull the clip out. There's a screw right here and a screw right here. On all Savages, you take those 2 screws out, stock comes off. You can get to the little adjuster back here in the back to adjust your trigger. Well, this one, you have to push that little button down. If y'all can see that little button right there, boom, boom, boom. There's a hidden screw back underneath there. Yeah, don't nobody on YouTube know about that but me and y'all now. So I've been around guns for a long time, and for 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, I couldn't figure it out. I finally figured it out. No video, just like, screw right there. And it's kind of hard to get to. You gotta hold that down, get a little Allen head in there. But anyway, so if you buy one of these, pro tip, put that in your back pocket and hang on to that for a little bit. It's got 3 screws to hold the stock on. The other thing, and this gun, y'all, is it's really a youth-friendly firearm. And when I say that, because a lot of guns, the safeties, and I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but the safeties right here, it's a 3-position safety. All the way up is fire, mid safety, your bolt to open, gun won't fire, bolt to open, all the way back safety. Bolts closed, won't open up, won't fire. If you want to eject the shell, click it up half safety. The gun still won't go off, but now you can pop the bolt open, eject the shell, whatever. The other thing I like about it is it's very easy to move. Especially for Aiden, he's sitting here, he just pops it up like that, he's ready to fire. This gun has the all-weather barrel. Another thing I like about it too is, if y'all can see that, it's got a spiraled bolt. I don't think it really serves any purpose other than it just looks cool. But it does look cool up there. The all-weather barrel, it's a 20-inch all-weather barrel. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I started buying rifles with all-weather barrels. Most of the time, you can find a model rifle that you're interested in, that you want or whatever. And most gun manufacturers, they'll make 2 versions. They'll make a blued version, which is going to be your more cheaper version of it, and then, you know, an all-weather barrel. All-weather barrels typically are $80 to $100 more expensive than black or blue barrels. There are pros and cons to them. Really, I ain't thought of a con yet, but the pro side to it is the barrels, they don't rust as easy. I do believe you can make them rust, but we don't do that. The other thing about it is, man, black on gray just looks freaking cool. I'm sorry, but I mean, you got to have a sexy gun. And when you look at this rifle, it just looks sexy. What do y'all think? Put some comments down there. Hit the thumbs up button. If y'all like Aiden's rifle, give me a thumbs up. The other thing I want to tell you about youth is slings. I've got some that are just these nylon, this little nylon stuff right here. This is actually a limb saver sling. It's got a little handle for it. It's kind of short to hang, you know, to hold like that, but, you know, oh well. But the main part about this sling is what I was looking for is this rubber part right here. Now, I'm not sure, the first time I've ever had one of these slings, so I don't know how good the longevity of life of it is, but I'm sure it'll last for a while. But the thing that I like about these is the rubberness, and I'll show you here. I'm sitting down, but when you put this sling on your shoulder, you can still use both hands. Now I'm sitting down, but just when we were down there on the range, Aiden was holding it, and he could use both hands. And it holds onto your shoulder, grips real good here, especially for kids. I mean, some people are like, well, Dad, you're supposed to carry your boy's rifle. I'm not that kind of dad. I mean, you go hunting, that's your stuff, you tote it. That's the way I am. I try not to, you know, I'm not one of them, I'm gonna baby the kid, this, that, and the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do a lot for him, especially when we're in the woods. But, I mean, it's his rifle. He wants to tote it, so I'm going to let him tote it. You can get those nylon slings for like 20 bucks. And I want to say I paid like $25, $28 for this one. Somewhere around in there. And it's just a better, to me, it's a better quality as far as not being able to slide off. It's braided. It don't have rivets in it. I got some that are riveted together. The rivets break. This one's sewn together, so hopefully that'll last for a while. Another thing I'll tell you about this rifle that kind of threw me for a loop. Like I said, I've been around rifles for a long time, and when we first got this rifle, we give it to him for his birthday, and it took about a week before we could get it down to the range, and had to order the scope rings. I ordered low mounts, and the lows were just too small, so I had to go back up and order a set of mediums. Mediums work fine. I like the fact that if you can see the scope to the stock of the gun is low. I think for a child or a younger kid, that's better. As he gets older, we extend it out. His head, neck gets longer. We can always change these to some higher mounts to get his eye relief back right where it's supposed to be. So, I mean, this is a $20 fix as he gets older, versus buying a whole new gun. As far as that's concerned, the only thing that I think is kind of goofy about this rifle is, I don't know if y'all can see it, but right here, and it's probably just because Savage makes one stock for a bunch of different guns, there's a pretty good gap in between the barrel. The stock really doesn't move to the barrel that much. Well, I say that, now I'm looking at it and it does. But, and I don't know, I guess maybe over time we'll just have to take it apart and clean it if it gets dirty in there. I mean, I know the barrels need to be floating, not in the stock, and it helps that kind of stuff. But other than that, that's about the only goofy thing about it that I've noticed. But other than that, I mean, the rifle, I mean, even for me, I mean, I can shoot the gun just the way it is, But the one thing I was going to tell y'all about this particular gun, and it may not be with all of them. I bought quite a few brand new rifles before, straight out of the box. All of them have been accurate. Even the couple I've got 3 Savage rifles, not counting this one. But one thing with this rifle that throwed me for a loop is, and I don't have any pictures to show you, but when we bought it, we took it to the range. Took about 6 or 7 shots to get it dialed in just a little bit, and then I gave it to him and let him finish getting it, where he liked it. And that's one thing that I think matters. A lot of people might say it don't. A lot of people may say it does. Is it's not my rifle, so why am I setting the scope for it? Yeah, I get it on paper where it needs to kind of get to, or whatever. And when I say that, I mean, I get it within about, yay. And then we'll just keep moving it and letting him shoot or whatever. I think it matters from neck to eyesight. Me being taller, bigger, my eyesight to shouldering is not the same as a young kid. So I've always done that, even with my older boys. When we set the rifles or set the scopes for theirs, I let them shoot them. You might go through 7 or 8 extra bullets. It's just trigger pulls for them. It gets them a little more comfortable with the gun. That's all I look at it as. If I was pinching bullets to, I only got 5 bullets left, maybe, but man, we buy them 3 or 4 boxes at a time. One thing that I do like to do is, Aiden's wanted a 7mm 08, so I purchased one for myself. I like to hunt with whatever the same caliber as you know, whoever I'm hunting with. That way we both got the same bullets. We're both shooting the same thing. And reality is, I mean, if you know the dad's going to shoot a 270, I probably wouldn't buy a kid a 270. But the thing is, I mean, if you buy your kid a 7mm 08 or a 243 or 308, those are good youth caliber rounds. Great deer hunting rounds. I've killed deer with all three of them. So what I like to do is he wanted a 7mm 08, he's got one, I got one. And when we go hunting, he takes his rifle, I take mine. We got one box of shells. We don't forget bullets. We don't forget stuff. That way, even if he don't get his bullets, I got some, vice versa. And that's really all I can say about this rifle. Oh, I remember what I was going to tell y'all. This particular rifle threw me for a loop. And the reason I say that is because we got it, I had it shooting on plate like that, but it was spotty. You know, it's just crazy. One time it'd be here, one time it'd be here, then over here, whatever. It was really goofy. So first thing everybody condemns is the scope. Scope's bad. Well, we can talk about scopes for 10 hours or whatever, but to me, Nikon is above your cheap scopes. You know, cheap scopes to me are those $50 scopes, the Simmons, the Tascos, the center fires that you buy at Walmart or you know, whatnot. Those are cheap scopes. Bushnell makes some cheap ones. You know, to me, a cheap scope is anything under $89. You get above that, I think you're starting to get a better quality scope. You know, and for the most part, I mean, this scope right here, I think was like $2.99, somewhere around in there. So, I mean, it's on the upper side to me of how much an expensive scope or a quality scope is. My father-in-law has a Pro Staff 2, and he's had it on that rifle for, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years, I guess, maybe longer than that. Said it one time and has never touched it. So, I've got some Nikon's scopes. They're good scopes to me. So I wasn't too concerned about condemning the scope yet until I started doing more research. So I contacted Savage, sent their customer service an email. Sent it in one day while I was at work. The very next morning I had a response back. And the response wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but pretty knowledgeable guy, because it seemed to correct the problem. They recommend, according to Savage's customer service guy, that when you purchase a Savage firearm, that you clean it before you shoot it. Run a brush down the barrel, run a swab, snake, whatever you got, whatever you use. They recommend that you clean it. Me personally, I've never done that before. I've bought quite a few rifles straight out of the box, went out, shot them, they shot great. This one was very, very dirty. When I say that, I'll clean my rifles at the end of the year. We'll wipe them down when we get done hunting with them. But as far as, like, you know, break them apart, running brushes down the barrels or whatever, I mean, we don't do that till we put them up for the year. Usually, my middle son does it anyway. He enjoys cleaning them, and he'll get them all laid out, take them apart, clean them, put them back together, whatever. So Savage recommended we do that. So I came home, cleaned it, put it back together. We went down to the range, and sure enough, I mean, it fixed the problem. Gun's very, very accurate, and I knew it would be. Did not know that about the recommending cleaning before you shoot it. That's a first for me. So I'm gonna put that in my back pocket and hang on to that one for a pro tip later. The other thing I want to talk to y'all about, and I'm gonna set this right over here out of the way, and door jams. I don't know if that's in the camera or not. Door jams, good for holding guns. The other thing I want to talk to y'all about is Walker's game ears. Like I said, Savage don't sponsor us. We don't have any sponsors. We just do this, and if it's a good product, and I think that the product has purposes to have young ones out in the woods to better their experience, I will relay those messages and those products over to you. With that being said, Walker's game ears. My son's worn them for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. His grandpa bought these for him. And I've heard of them, never used them. I use earmuffs when I'm shooting, earplugs when I'm in the woods, but these things are noise canceling earphones. A lot of people have heard of them, but for a young child, and when I say young, I'm not meaning, and I guess you can put them on babies if you want to. I mean, Fireworks one year, a friend of ours had their little baby over here. He was like 2 years old, and we put them on him, and he sat out there and watched fireworks all year. But anyway, they serve multiple purposes. But as far as hunting goes, Aiden wears these to the woods. Well, he puts them on when we get in the stand, but he wears them when we're hunting. He wears them when we're at the range. You can hear normal when you turn them on. They got an on-off button right here. I'm not sure if they take batteries or what, but we've never had to put batteries in them. I'm sure there's batteries in here somewhere, but we bought them straight out of the package, and we ain't never put batteries in them. We just turn them on, turn them off. But he wears them. You can hear fine. Just if you're sitting there, he can hear deer walking. It's not like he's not gonna hear them. You know, you're not losing that hearing when you're in the woods. But as soon as you fire, cancels it out. Anything, I'm sure there's a decibel that once it breaks, it cuts it out. I've worn them before shooting, and these things are freaking amazing. And I'm not sure, a lot of young guys and gals, a lot of times it's that loud boom that startles them just a little bit. So this right here, having this ear protection is a must. And when I was little, we didn't have this kind of stuff. I mean, we probably had muffs, but heck, my grandpa and granddaddy and dad, we just shot. We didn't put no earmuffs in. It's probably why I can't hear now. But anyway, that's for a different segment. So, but as far as the Walker's game ears, for young kids, they are really, really, really good. And another thing that we figured out about these is when you're in the stand, Aiden will put on a toboggan, and then he'll put these on over his head like that, and it covers his ears up. So not only can he hear, he's got something covering his ears so his ears don't get cold. He's got the ear protection when he shoots. These are just an all-around good product, guys. And I'll tell you, something for a young kid, and I couldn't tell you how much these things are. I don't know. I didn't purchase them. but I'm sure you can go on Amazon or Google them or something like that, and they'll you can probably find them pretty reasonable. Oh, I was going to tell y'all something. Talk about guns in general, especially for youth. If budget becomes an issue, try to figure out what's the most important thing. Now, to get the setup like this rifle right here, man, I've got about $1,000 in it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the most expensive rifle that I've ever bought. I do not own a rifle that costs more than this setup right here. I don't believe in brands. I don't think that a brand makes a rifle these days. Maybe 30 years ago, you know, you'd get a better quality for buying a better brand. Savage, Ruger, those Mossberg rifles, those rifles are built. Yeah, they're mass produced, and you're gonna find some that have some flaws. Don't get me wrong, that's with anything that's made. And people can talk about them, whatever. I mean, that's, put it in the comments and we can discuss that later. But for me, the way I think about a rifle is you can find you a rifle, whether it's a youth model rifle or an adult rifle or anything, for $400, $500. And some people say, well, that's a lot of money, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But they do make rifles that are way more expensive than that. 7, 8 times isn't that much. Are they better? I don't know. You know, my opinion is, if a deer's standing 200 yards, this rifle will kill it. You know, if he's at 50 yards, this rifle will get him. You know, is he at 400? I'm sure I can, if I get enough shots, I'll hit him. Kentucky windage. I mean, the calibers, buy a good caliber rifle as far as, you know, the ballistic go on that. That's a totally different subject. But as far as rifles, if you're looking for a good youth rifle, this one is, I think, is a good one. If this one might be out of your budget, and you're still trying to figure it out, shoot me a comment. I will put you on some stuff. I've done a lot of research on rifles before we got in this one. New England Firearms, they make a single shot combo rifle. They make it 243, 308, 223. I'm not a fan of a 223 bullet. Will it do the job? Yes. My thing is, a 223 is a neck shot, or kind of behind the shoulder shot for a rifle. That 223 caliber, you're not going to shoot a deer in the front shoulder and it go all the way through. Heck, a big deer, that 7mm or 8 ain't going to go all the way through him. For Aiden, I mean, he's a shoulder guy. You shoot them in the shoulder, they ain't running very far. But you know, you can't expect a kid to shoot them in the neck every time, or shoot them, you know, right behind the front shoulder. You got to give a young shooter, you know, a big area, and let him hit that, you know, to start with. 7mm or 8's got plenty of knockdown power. 243, it's got plenty of knockdown powder. So those are the calibers that I would probably steer you closer to on a youth rifle versus, you know, something different. I mean, there's other ones out there, and you know, do some research about it. The only thing that I will say about doing research on the internet, just because it's on the internet doesn't make it true. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody else's opinion. So if you know that going in, then you're better off, because you have to understand it's their opinion, not facts. So when you're doing research, try to keep that in mind. The other thing I want to talk to you about is please get your kids out there. Get them out there. Every state has a youth season. They have spots or places that you can take youths. If you're a single parent and you're not very hunting wise, I guess I could say, take the initiative, take the time to go to your game and fish and get your hunter's ed. Contact a couple game wardens. See if your state offers, you know, something, anything, you know, to get the kids out in the woods. I think it's something that the world, the youth, is losing by not getting these kids out in the woods. It's just a way of life that really needs to be embraced, and parents in general need to understand that, you know, 60 years ago, everybody hunted for their food. 1,000 years ago, that's the only way they could get food. Everybody relies on Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and the grocery store. You know, nobody grows a garden anymore. Nobody goes out and hunts for a squirrel to eat supper with. Take the kids out and let them enjoy it. Everybody says hunting's dangerous, firearms are dangerous. They are. They really are. But if you teach them early, you teach them the right way, teach them proper gun safety, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or anything else you want to talk about or want me to cover, put them in the comments. Shoot me a email or something like that. I'll be glad to talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Love y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Bye.